Throughout our lives, we were told that if we worked hard, played by the rules, got a good job, and bought a home, we'd achieve the American dream. But today, many Americans feel that dream is slipping away or already gone. So for decades, the American dream was clear, right? You find a nice, stable job that pays you a good wage, you own a home, you raise a family, and you move up the economic ladder. And I'm thankful because I, to a lot of people, have achieved the American dream. I have a great career job that pays me six figures. I bought a brand new home last year, raising a family, moving up the economic ladder. But today's economic reality looks very different to a lot of people from this ideal. So studies have been conducted and show that the belief in the American dream for a lot of people is collapsing. Only 27% of Americans now believe that if you work hard, you'll get ahead, which is down from 50% in 2010. I mean, it's only been about 16 years at this point, but 16 years for it to go from 50% to 27% of people believing that the American dream is still possible. I mean, how do you blame them, right? Cost of living goes up, wages are not keeping up with inflation. I mean, like, it's not the 1940s anymore. You can't buy a house for $20,000, $30,000. These house prices are insane. So according to a study by the New York Times, achieving the traditional life milestones like homeownership, raising children, healthcare, retirement, education now has an estimated lifetime cost of over $5 million. That's 50% more than 2 years earlier. Doing all that stuff that I just mentioned, home ownership, raising children, retirement, education, healthcare, will cost you at least $5 million throughout your lifetime. They're probably thinking, how the hell am I going to get $5 million throughout my lifetime? It just seems impossible. Some people don't even see $1 million in their lifetime. And don't get me wrong, guys, I love America. I love being here. I can't imagine not being in this country because the opportunities still are endless. Like, you can work towards yourself. You have the opportunities there for you. You want to be an electrician, a plumber, you want to work some sort of trade, you have the opportunity, right? If you want to study, and work in finance, or you want to work as a doctor, or you want to do something, like, we have so many resources to help you out, to help you achieve those dreams. And I still feel that America is the greatest country on earth, right? Regardless of what's going on right now, the opportunities here are endless. Sometimes it's very difficult to see the positives and to see the light when there are so many people struggling, when overall costs keep increasing, when wages are not keeping up with inflation, when the interest rates that you're getting paid in the savings account not enough and do not keep up with inflation. So even though wages have normally increased over the last few decades, they haven't kept pace with inflation and major living costs, especially with housing and healthcare. And this means that today's earnings don't stretch as far as on necessities, and more Americans feel like they're financially underwater and never getting ahead. Think about this, guys. Home ownership is one of the biggest cornerstones, right, in the American dream. But today, home prices have risen up faster than incomes. In 2025, the median home price was about 5 times the median household income. But in many cities like Los Angeles or Miami, these quote-unquote starter homes are now priced over $1 million. And for this reason, many young people see themselves as lifelong renters and not future homeowners. We also have a lot of people taking on debt, which is not helping the situation at all. It's not going to help their financial situation or their sanity at all. According to Investopedia, consumer debt in the US averages over $105,000 per household. And that's between credit cards, personal loans, car loans, etc. I don't think this is counting mortgage. It's been so bad that 84% of Americans believe that being debt-free is now part of the American dream. We live in a consumer society, man. Think about it. You scroll on Instagram, on TikTok, and you see these people taking these lavish, exotic vacations, buying these nice cars, and living in these crazy houses. We live in a consumer society. People just want. People want to buy things, and social media and the internet make it so easy. You want to buy something? Oh, okay, buy now. Add it to cart. Buy now, pay later. These buy now, pay later schemes make it so easy for people to buy things now, pay later, especially when they're charging you over 300% interest on these things. Dude, you can even finance DoorDash. Who the hell wants to finance DoorDash? Like, how stupid can you be, man? You don't do that. If you're not in a good financial situation to buy things in cash that are not necessities, don't do it. Don't do it. You got to think about your fixed expenses, your living expenses first. Take care of those. If you have any bad debt, take care of those. Not only that, man, part of the American dream was eventually doing better than your parents financially. But according to Forbes, fewer Americans feel confident that they're going to be doing better than their parents, and younger adults are more pessimistic. The decline in mobility, or the relief in upward mobility, chips away at the core idea of the American dream. Now, I mentioned earlier that I thank the Lord and I thank my parents that I am doing better financially. But if it wasn't for my parents moving from Puerto Rico to the Midwest, which is where I'm at right now, and probably won't ever move, but guys, look, I know you're probably struggling. You probably have a different upbringing than I did. You know, I struggle myself. I didn't come from a rich family. My parents are lower middle class. I remember the year after I graduated high school, the sheriff came to my house and handed me the eviction notice while my parents were at work. And I remember looking at that letter and then handing it over to my dad after he came home from his break at work. And I knew that's not the type of life that I wanted. That's not the type of life that I wanted to provide for my family. And I still use that as motivation to this day. And I don't blame my parents at all because they did what they could at the time. You know, my dad worked 2 full-time jobs for the majority of my teen years. My mom also worked full-time. And I knew that this is not the type of life that I wanted for my kids. So that really did motivate me to be better than them, financially speaking. And shout out to my dad because he gave me that work ethic that I currently have. Shout out to my mom because she held it down at the house. Even though she did work full-time, she held it down, taking care of 4 kids in total. You know what I mean? So you got to find that motivation. You got to find what drives you. That's what drives me. So if you are living in America, the dream is still possible. It's harder than what it was before, right? You got to put in extra work than what our predecessors did, than what our parents did, what our grandparents and great-grandparents did. You got to put in extra work to achieve the American dream, but it is still possible, guys. And with social media and the different ways that you can earn money nowadays, you can do it. But we also have to be disciplined with our money. We have to be disciplined in ourselves. Don't spend more than you make. Use that extra money, invest it. Invest it in yourself. Increase the skills. Become more employable. Become somebody that somebody would want to hire. Use those skills that you invest in yourself. Start your own business. Start your own thing. That's what you need to do to achieve the American dream. And like I said, it's still possible if you're living in America. Everybody's situation and circumstances are different, yes, but if you realize that and use that as a key drive for you to improve yourself, then you can do it. I did it. I'm only 29 years old. You know what I mean? And I still got a whole lot of life to live. I'm still raising my kids. Like, I'm still working, and I don't plan on stopping anytime soon, right? But I struggle my way here too, man. That'll be a different story for another day. But man, I worked my ass off to be where I'm at today, to have the things that I have today. You know, to say that I have 3 vehicles under my name, 2 of which are paid off, to have a brand new home that I purchased last year, to have a great job, to have all these things that I've ever wanted. Such an early age for a lot of people. But it's because I worked my ass off to have these things. Nothing was ever handed to me. Dream isn't dead, guys. It's just evolving, and that's something that we have to do. Instead of just owning a home or buying a new car, today's goals might be having financial stability. Like I said, being debt-free, having that work-life balance, saving for retirement, and then health care security. So now, a redefined American dream might be less about material milestones and more about economic well-being. So let me know, guys, do you think that the American dream, or at least the traditional American dream, is really dead? Or does it just look different now? Tell me your story in the comment section below. I appreciate you guys watching this video. You take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.